are live with Andrew White, an awesome yo-yo player, sponsored by Yomega. We're excited to have you on the stream and welcome. So I'm very curious because you've been changing your branding for your channel a lot. What has been the inspiration for that? What's been the inspiration for you rebranding your channel?
And I wasn't like, channel wasn't doing great, so I felt like I wanted to like start fresh, kind of, I guess.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I mean, I haven't really done anything since like rebranding yet, but I'm planning on trying to make some like long form content and try to do less shorts probably.
Nice. Also, welcome everybody. How's it going, Zombie Boy? How's it going, Blue Tiger? Max, welcome everybody. Hope y'all are having a good week. I'm sorry that you've had bad news from the doctor this week, Zombie. Hope it's not anything too serious for you, man. So you mentioned you wanted to do more long form content. Like, are you thinking of doing like challenge videos, reviews? Like, what kind of style are you thinking you want to go for?
I don't know like quite yet. I just want to do. I just want to do something a little different because like it seems like all the long form yo-yo videos that are coming out recently are all like so similar.
Right.
So I just want to make something new. That's
I
kind of
like
my
that.
goal.
I feel that. I've noticed that too with some of the long form videos that have been coming out in this space. Is that they're like there's not that many people doing them in the first place.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, even like Brandon's video that came out today, like it was fun to watch, but it's just like it seems like a reused formula.
yeah, that's fair. That is very fair.
So
And that is kind of the name of the game with YouTube sometimes, is like trying to understand when to move on from the formula and when the formula is a good idea to keep doing, you know?
yeah, but I mean, like it's sometimes it's like really hard to try something new when you know that this formula has gotten you so many views in the past. It's like
Right.
some psychology stuff or something.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I absolutely feel that. I've been messing around with the new format lately, and it's been interesting, but I feel like it's a format that is just basically like yo-yo TikTok from a few years ago, but without me saying anything. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to. The short, like, I've just been. It's been so long since I've tried making like high effort like shorts, so I'm just like I feel like I don't know. It's just so hard to get back into it because I was in like such a groove and I was
Right.
like doing well and consistent, and now I can't get anything to do well. So
Yeah, I feel that. Also, we have two people in the chat that have hit themselves with cloth hangers in very sensitive parts of their face, and I'm sorry to hear that. It's more than I would have expected this week.
yeah,
I hope y'all are okay. Goodness gracious, be careful, y'all.
someone wants to see DNA with the offspring. So do you know how to do offspring DNA?
I do know how to do offspring DNA. Now the question is whether I can actually land it. I
my
can do
offspring,
it.
my offspring yo-yo doesn't have a dimple, so I have an excuse not to try.
But mine does. The question though is whether I can even land it on my finger in the first place.
sure.
Also, this string is stupidly long. I need to switch to one that's way shorter. Yeah, I feel that on like because I remember when I went on a vacation once, like last year around like October,
Mhm.
and my shorts had been doing really well, and I had been posting daily for like a while, and even had like scheduled stuff to go like while I was on my trip,
Yeah.
and even posted stuff while I was on my trip, and then it just like tanked. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah. I don't know why that is a correlation there. 'Cause, like literally the exact same thing happened to me. I got like 10,000 consistent views every single short video I posted, and then I went on vacation for a month, and then I came back and no views.
Yeah, building it back up can be challenging for sure.
Hmm.
How's it going, Tyler? Welcome. Hello, mate. Okay, come on. No, it didn't get.
Uh,
It was like just off from the dimple, and so it just like started going a little weird. Come on.
yeah.
We
Hey,
take those. We take those.
there it is.
There it is, the Austrian DNA on 10.12, but we got there eventually. Did I get a new Austrian yo-yo? Not this one. I've had this one for a while, but my newest Austrian yo-yo. Well, actually, no, I did get a new Austrian yo-yo. I got these ones. They're the Wild Bound, the polycarb version, or all polycarb version of the Boundless, which has a metal rim. It is a great yo-yo. I do like the Boundless more, but it is a solid yo-yo.
Nice.
But this one right here is the Unlimited. I've had it for a while.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know, like any offstring, so
That's okay. It is kind of my style at this point, so I
yeah.
sometimes get a little into it.
I haven't tried a ton else other than 1A, but I mean I've tried every style like a little bit, but haven't really been super good at any of them.
Uh-huh. What yo-yo does the other guy have? I'm assuming they're asking what yo-yo you have, Andrew. What are
Oh,
you
okay.
throwing?
This is the Yo-Yo Factory IQ,
Nice.
which I'm not really supposed to. Don't buy it. Actually, it's really bad. No, I'm just kidding. You should actually buy a yo-yo from Yomega.com.
Okay, so I just did an unintentional magic trick, and I somehow have an extra string on my arm. I have no idea how it got there.
No, no.
What the heck just happened? Um, anyway, um, goodness gracious, that threw me off so bad. So you're using the IQ, awesome. Um, so you're coming to the contest next month. What are you thinking of using for your competition throw?
I'm gonna use. Where did it go? Actually, I have it here somewhere. I'll use the Pro X2,
Nice.
but it seems I probably put it somewhere. I don't know where.
That's okay. No worries. I
I
don't
have
think
like
I've tried
three,
any.
so I don't know where any of them are. It's not very good.
That's okay. I don't think I've tried any of your Mega's newer stuff. I might have to try some of it when we're at the contest next month.
Yeah, you can. The Pro X2 is definitely best one. Yeah, yeah. There should be some more 1A stuff coming out soon. So
What's the other one that a lot of people, is it the Glide or is it the Groove? I don't remember which.
both. I mean, the Glide is probably more popular, I would say.
Gotcha. Because I
But
know there's another guy who he posts like he posts school trick shorts, and it's usually with the Glide, I want to say.
yeah, yeah, I haven't really ever used the Glide that much, but the Groove is a pretty fun yo-yo. Not very
Nice.
competitive, but
That's all good, man. Not every yo-yo has to be competitively minded.
true.
Are there yo-yo meets in New York City? Yes, there are. I am not in New York City, but there is a really strong yo-yo club there.
They meet
Uh,
like quite a bit.
yeah, like there's a lot of really good yo-yo players in New York. I want to say they meet almost like every week. Last time I asked someone about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they meet like every Sunday or something. I'm not
I
sure
think
though.
so. I'm pretty sure, yeah. It's like every Sunday at some mall, but
Yeah.
I've never been to it. But in the off chance I find myself in New York on a Sunday, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be trying to find it.
Last time I was in New York, I had no idea that competitive yo-yoing existed. So
Well, there you go. In that case, then how long have you been yo-yoing?
it's almost it'll be 3 years in like a month, I think. So
Dang,
about 3 years.
that's awesome. And what got you into it?
So like I do 4-H with like a bunch of friends, and
Hmm.
one of my friends, he does like so much stuff. He just tries like literally everything. And one of his short little phases was yo-yoing. And so he had like an extra yo-yo. And he's like,
Uh-huh.
hey, you should try it. It's pretty fun. And then he gave it to me and I just started learning from YouTube. I started like finding all the yo tutorials, mostly like yo tricks when
Uh-huh.
I started. And then yeah, I just became obsessed from there. And now he doesn't really yo-yo anymore, my friend, any because that was like a short phase for him. But I got really into it. So
There you go. That's awesome, man. The people that got me into yo-yoing don't yo-yo anymore either. It's okay. It,
yeah,
it happens sometimes. John, I have no idea if the meet is canceled again. Neither of us live in New York, so I have no idea. But they have an Instagram. It's New York Yo-Yo Club NYYC, and you could DM them there, and I'm sure that they would know the schedule better than I do. How can you know that you have a fake yo-yo? Depends on what you mean by a fake yo-yo, like a yo-yo that's like a copy of an actual yo-yo, that kind of fake yo-yo, or like a yo-yo that's literally not even a yo-yo. Yo, how's it going, Newton? I'd say generally like there's a couple of giveaways if it's like a fake, like if it's a copy yo-yo, that usually there'll be something off with like with any of like the logos on it, or if there's like a symbol on it, it might be like incorrect. The specs might be slightly off. You get it for a significant discount comparatively to what it's actually priced. It comes from a country that the yo-yo was not produced in or that the company isn't involved in.
I mean to be honest, like yeah, fake yo-yos like that never really been a huge problem in the yo-yo community, thankfully.
Yeah, not for the most part. Like there's been a couple of
Yeah,
instances where it's been problematic, but it's usually just people making like one-off like yo-yo
yeah.
jam clones.
I don't see very many.
Right. And Yo-Yo Jam doesn't even exist anymore. So it's like on the one hand, I'm like, does it really matter? I don't know.
True.
You mean where I live? Oh, yeah. So the club is not canceled this week. It is happening tomorrow. No one around here. It just got moved 1 week off for some reason, and I don't know why. It's usually the third Saturday of the month, but for whatever reason, the library scheduled it for the following Saturday. So it's the fourth Saturday this month. I don't know why.
That's pretty random.
Yeah, it was kind of random.
Yeah, I gotta go to one of the meets one of these days.
You're always welcome, brother.
It's really hard to make that drive.
It is. 'Cause it's a couple hours for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours for me.
Yeah, that's a big commitment for a yo-yo club, and respect to Newt Newt for making that drive a couple of times.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think that's further for him. So
Am I ready for the competition, John? Not, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I have my idea, like I have the outline for my freestyle. I've got the music picked out. I just need to edit the music together and actually get good at my routine.
yeah, I am not even close. So my routine. I actually edited my music today. So at least my prelim music. I haven't even thought about finals yet. So it's probably a bad thing, but
I mean, you could always just add 30 seconds to your prelim.
that's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna add 30 seconds.
Yeah, whether it's at the beginning or the end. I mean, it'd be easier at the end because then you don't have to like re-choreograph everything.
True.
Or well, I guess would you be re-choreographing at that point? Because you could still have the same ending. It's just you'd have a different beginning, I guess.
Well, yeah. It's just re-choreographing different parts.
Yeah, for sure. Also, how's it going, Hazel? Blue Tiger, what yo-yo would I recommend for beginners? Depends on what style you want to play, but I'd say for 1A, the the snapback is really good. For responsive play, I like that one a lot. For unresponsive, the AoE is really good. That's what I'm throwing right now. Yo-yo friends AoE. If you want a budget metal yo-yo, the yo-yo friends shortcut or ultra cut are both really good. Um, but like I could go on and on about it. But if you're going for off string though, the Magic Yo-Yo it's either T2 or T3, is shockingly good for the price. You're grinding as well at this point. You're grinding the actual routine, and less just figuring out what the routine is going to be. Well, that's a good place to be, honestly, because I mostly have my routine figured out, but I'm at this point where it's like, do I go for like the bigger tricks or do I go for consistency? Because like I'm debating dropping one of my combos for one I'm more consistent at because of the fact that I like never land that combo when I actually need it. So I have most of it figured out, but I don't know. I'm still experimenting. This is like the experiment of what I'm thinking of switching my first combo to. We'll see if it actually goes well. But I'm trying to do this arm combo to a recapture combo to then going to behind the back. Dang, so close. Almost had that in. That's what I'm trying to switch it to because my regen combo combined with behind the back is just too hard to land consistently right now. Like it'll take me like 15 minutes to land it once. And like I can't deal with like, 1% like chance of actually landing this.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to switch.
Sorry, my yo-yo flew out of the room because I left the door open. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to balance between the consistency aspect and like going for bangers.
Yeah, it's
You had your prelim and final relatively planned out, but you were seeing if there was a different trick that was better at or that scored better. Fair enough. XDiv, you'll just do whatever. Fair enough. That's kind of what my thought process will be if I decide to do 1A, is that I'll probably just be vibing. Just doing something. Who knows what. You're definitely not making it past prelims, John. I don't know about that. You never know. I have
I
no idea how competitive prelims is going to be for 1A.
hopefully I can actually make it to finals. I would hope so. I'm pretty sure
That
I'd
would
win.
be sick. And also, especially since they're doing finals as shorter freestyles, they might be taking more people to finals.
Um,
I have no idea.
no idea.
I'm just speculating because if finals are a minute and a half instead of the regular 2 or 3, like that does save a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm really glad it's 1.5 because 3 minutes is very intimidating.
It is really intimidating. I've never done a full 3-minute freestyle
Yeah,
on
my
stage.
longest freestyle was 2 minutes at UIC, so
Yep, same.
I had like 0 tricks. That's one of my least favorite routines ever. But I guess you'd always not like your own routines.
Yeah, it can be easy to be critical of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't that bad, but I look back and I'm like, man, I was really bad.
Yeah, I feel that. Like looking back at my UIYC, it was pretty rough.
Yeah,
My world's routine was decent, but like for whatever reason, like the thing is, like I knew it was my best performance on stage by like a mile. But at the same time, like I was watching it today or yesterday, and I'm just like, dang, I missed so many vines. But at
yeah,
the same time, like I remember when I was on stage and like for months, I was like, this is awesome. Like I love this freestyle. So it's just interesting how even with time you can sometimes be more judgmental of yourself than you think.
I mean, I for it's like really rough because like the first, I didn't have like a yo-yo to switch out to because it was like
Oh no.
because I got sponsored like literally like 2 weeks before,
Uh-huh.
so they had to like express ship me a Pro X2, and then
Oh yeah.
so I only had one, and then like my first trick, I axle knotted. I was like, oh,
No.
and now like that trick was just like I don't even think twice about doing it anymore. Like such an easy trick, I feel like now, like easily consistent, but it's like how did I miss that?
That is frustrating.
There are actually new Omega yo-yos in the work, but I
Oh,
can't like
there?
in the works.
Nice.
New was asking about any new Omega yo-yos, but I obviously am not allowed to share details. So
Fair enough. So I missed a few comments. Soloham, indeed, yes, Max, you are correct. Yo, thanks, John. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed the prelim for 4A. How's it going, Flamehead? Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the prelim for sure. And like I hit the banger I was going for.
it's nice.
But it's like I had probably at least like 20 seconds of downtime just from me missing vines and like
Yeah,
tracing my yo across the ground.
and I had 20 seconds of downtime picking on an axle knot, so pretty even.
Yeah, we're even there. Just join ACO. Didn't they actually, was it ACO or Tapio that recently they were talking about like they were looking for more sponsored players recently, and I think it was ACO. because I genuinely thought about it. But then I remembered that ACO is in Asia and I don't live in Asia. And if the whole team is in Asia except for me, that would be really hard to have like a team dynamic, you know?
True.
Like I love Asia, but it's like I don't know if I'd really be able to go often enough to really feel like connected with the team.
Yeah.
Also, we'll see you around, John. Thanks for stopping by.
Thankfully, most of Omega is in U.S. and it's a U.S. based company, so
True.
there's a couple people in Asia. So
I always forget that was slip. So something that I never would have considered beforehand, like before learning Solaham, is that the material of your shirt matters for Solaham because the string that you put on your shirt needs to stay there. And if you're wearing a slippery shirt, it falls off really, really easily. Had I ever thought that through before being a 4A player? Not in the slightest.
yeah, I would have never thought about that.
But it's already fallen off like 5 times in the last 10 minutes. It was ACO. I could get more Vamos yo-yos. That's true. And the Vamos is actually really good. I really like the ACO Vamos too. It is kind of heavy, but it's like it's a tank. Like that thing could get like absolutely thrashed into the ground and still be just fine. Where am I going to do my next competition? I'm going to be doing my next competition in Dallas. There's a competition in Dallas next month.
Yeah.
First one that's been in Dallas for a long time. I don't know if there's even ever been one here before.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Gulf Coast Regionals at some point, like a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been for like a while back, but the last time Gulf Coast was in Houston, I want to say.
Yeah, it was Houston.
Also, Newt, you're spoiling the fun. I don't remember if it was for nationals or worlds, but the day of one of those contests, I went outside to film a yo-yo trick at the Riverwalk because I like to film yo-yo tricks at the Riverwalk. It's a great backdrop.
Mhm.
And it was windy that day. First throw, I kid you not. I throw it, I miss the string. It rolls straight into the river. First throw. And I'm like stunned. Because I'm like, dude, like it wasn't even like what am I supposed to do with that? Like it's not like I can just like jump in the river. It's more dense than water. It's just gonna sit. So
Yeah,
that was something.
that's unfortunate. I've never, thankfully, usually I play with yo-yos attached to my string.
That is one of the benefits of not playing off stream. But now I still do off string videos at the Riverwalk. I'm just far more careful about how I set it up so that that doesn't happen.
I mean, yeah, as long as if you like throw it the right way, make sure it rolls the other direction first once it hits the ground.
Yeah, that was the kicker was that I didn't do that on like when it did fall in the water, but I normally
Since it hit the
do.
ground, it just rolled straight in.
Exactly. And it was on a hill too, which just, made the problem worse.
Oh yeah.
But the other day I found a spot on the Riverwalk where it's less windy because there's a building that blocks the wind.
Oh yeah.
And it has like a little bit of like a ridge kind of thing so that like I can set it up in such a way that I can still have the river as the backdrop, but not have my yo-yo spinning in such a way that it'll go towards the river. So
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my go-to filming spot at this point.
Nice.
The Riverwalk geese own that thing now. They do. They do indeed. But the geese will never dive deep enough for it. That river is way deeper than you'd think it would be. It's like at least 10 or 15 feet deep. Which I know isn't that deep, but it's a man-made river by a bunch of residential housing, so it's kind of shocking to be that deep.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever. I'm pretty sure I've been to the River Rock like one time. That was like a long time ago, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of good river walks, honestly. Like the one in San Antonio was really nice.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that's probably the one I went to.
Yeah,
I
I really
remember going to one at some point.
I filmed some yo-yo tricks there too, actually.
Oh, nice. I also did yo-yo the last time I went to San Antonio, so
Nice.
I did.
There's your responsive sort of DNA. I don't have any responsive yo-yos that have a finger spin dimple, so that's gonna have to be the closest it gets.
Yeah. I don't think I have like. I don't keep. I don't have like any responsive yo-yos. I did
You
for
know
like
you have a later?
because I started with an unresponsive yo-yo, so
Did you know, like, do you not have like a Raider from Yomega?
I have a Raider, yeah.
Because the Raider is actually like really good for responsive tricks.
Yeah, they're actually very good, but I don't. I usually don't play with yo-yos like that much. I want to get
That's
into it. I mean, 2A seems like looks really fun, but it's just like my left arm doesn't know how to do that.
yeah, doing two-handed loops is pretty hard.
I can
Also,
loop pretty well with my right arm, but
yeah, looping with my right arm is still hard too, but we've got an AOE. You have a point. The AOE is also responsive. The problem is that I don't know if I still have the responsive bearing for it. And the responsive bearing that came with mine was semi-responsive anyway. So like most of the time it wouldn't actually work the way a normal one would work for a DNA for an unresponsive yo-yo. So I'd need to put some thick lube in it, but I don't know where my ironically Yo Mega thick lube went. I don't know where it went.
my cheat
Also,
code.
Maxie, you tagged me in a video. I don't know, like, is that a good thing? I hope it's a good thing. We'll find out after the stream. Check my notifications, and it's like some who knows what kind of like what you do for $10 million.
Yeah, that would be.
Eat your dog. The North Star with a dirty bearing. I guess that's true. The North Star with a dirty bearing could be responsive, but at that point, every yo-yo could be responsive.
Sure.
If your bearing is gunked up enough, any yo-yo could be responsive.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I just thought to myself, it's cursed, but this yo-yo, when it's stringed up, is responsive. It's cursed, but it is responsive.
That's true.
Time to yet again perform a cursed yo-yo tricks with a stringed off-string yo-yo.
Yeah, it's.
Oh goodness, the things I do for content. How's it going, Dimas? When someone searches me, it'll show up. Interesting. I don't know why they would see it if they search me as opposed to me. Well, I guess like if I'm tagged in it. All right. Cursed yo-yo tricks. Let's go. Nope. Too responsive. No.
Almost.
We'll get this in a minute. You're trying to get a yo-yo, but it keeps on getting delayed. That's unfortunate. Where are you trying to get from your tiger? We take those.
Nice.
So, am I a champion? Not necessarily. I haven't won any yo-yo contests before, but maybe one day.
Oh,
Yeah. You're gonna get a new yo-yo as well, Maxine. Nice. In spring. Awesome. Which one are you getting? Or are you still thinking about it? Now we're getting there. We're getting the hang of the cursed responsive
yeah.
offspring DNA. We're getting there. I remember there was a stream where like I just did this DNA like 20 times or something.
Yeah.
Because people kept asking for the DNA, so I just kept doing it in a row.
Nice.
It was peak yo-yo content.
I mean, that's what everyone wants to see.
It
DNA,
is.
apparently.
Who knew? Weasel is really good. You're probably going to use it for finals. Nice. Yeah, I'm curious to try out the Weasel prototype. Or is it the actual final production run, right? I wasn't sure if they actually like officially finished it or not. Woo. The joys of offspring. The DNA, not the King DNA, the DNA by Gentry Stein. Oh, okay, nice.
No, dude.
It's like the cheat code. Yeah, so the DNA King. Or well, so the one that Gentry Stein did that's like the cheat code is the DNA King. So if it's not the DNA King, is it just the regular one, the regular Yo-Yo Factory DNA? The questions we ask ourselves because these names are also similar.
Yeah, I've never tried the DNA King, so
Neither have I, but I've also never tried the cheat code either.
I've tried the cheat code. I like the cheat code. It is very stable for finger spins, as you'd expect. But I would assume that the DNA King is pretty similar.
Yeah, they look like a pretty similar design for sure.
The caps are just a little bit different.
Yeah. So you're not sure, Newt. You'll also need to talk to the boss to send one as a prize. That'd be sick. Photos for days. You love to see it. How do I make a yo-yo off string? So how convenient. I have a stringed up off string yo-yo that I can now make off string. So what you do is you see how this yo-yo is attached to the string. What you'll do is you'll actually untwist it and stick your finger in there to make the loop larger so that you can take it off of the yo-yo and then tighten it back down. Your string might have some weird tension, so let it get back to neutral. And then from here, you can wind it up a very similar way to a regular yo-yo, a regular unresponsive yo-yo, that is. But what you're going to do is you're going to wrap it around the way that you hold the bearing so it doesn't move is you grab the string with one hand and then wrap it around the bearing from there. And then when you throw, it'll completely fly off the string. And that is how to set up an off-string yo-yo. Whatever you do, please use an actual off-string yo-yo or a responsive yo-yo. Otherwise, it's not going to come back when you bind it.
Yep, I did that with an.
Yep.
I've made that mistake before.
Yeah, it's unique. It's a unique experience playing unresponsive 4A.
Yeah.
And if you know what you're doing, it's fun. But if you don't, it can be very frustrating. Something happens so you can't get it. Ah, that's too bad. How's it going, Happy Lloyd? I've been trying to work on a solo hum trick. but I don't think it's gonna work because the strings keep sliding off my
Oh,
shoulder and getting tangled. But the idea is once you do that initial somersault,
mm,
in the middle of the somersault, you pop one of the yo-yos up. Keep doing the somersault with one of the yo-yos, and then land the one that's in the air back into the mount.
oh dang. Yeah,
It's really
so
cool.
blows my mind. I
It blows my mind too, dude. And I do this a lot. That's the thing. Like that kind of, but like landing this yo-yo back into it.
yeah.
It's so hard. How do I land on the string with attached string? So like for a regular yo-yo. So for a regular yo-yo, something that can help with consistency is to make sure you line up your sight with the gap of the yo-yo. Because the idea is that you want to align the gap of the yo-yo with the string. So notice how I'm looking to the side to see like the string and the gap of the yo-yo so that I can guide that gap onto the string. Especially as you're getting used to it, being able to have that clear line of sight can help a lot. I think if we're used to it, you don't necessarily have to look at it that way, but that's something that can be helpful getting started with consistency is to be able to guide it with that line of sight. Yeah, I'm glad that's helpful. No problem, man. That was something that was really hard for me when I was first learning trapeze. Actually, was like just figuring out how to line up the yo-yo and the string. For whatever reason, was super hard for me when I was first learning the yo-yo.
Oh yeah. I don't even remember very well when I first started. Feels like forever ago.
It's all good, man. I'm surprised I remember it honestly, but I just remember vividly like that the trapeze was literally like the hardest trick for me to ever learn as a beginner, and it's genuinely been harder for me to learn that one trick than any other trick I've had to learn.
Yeah, I know it's pretty crazy. I mean, I do remember like watching yo-yo YouTube videos and like getting my mind blown, and then now like I can do all those tricks that were blowing my mind.
Yes,
Crazy.
that's such a satisfying realization. Like
Uh-huh.
going back and being like, wow, I thought these tricks were impossible, and now they're really like they're hard, but they're doable.
Yeah, like just like tricks like Mach 5 just like absolutely blew my mind when I first started. I'm like, oh, it's just like a beginner trick.
Dude, I love Mach 5.
That's
It's
so
so
satisfying.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Yo, how's it going, Sigma? We got W's in the chat. You love to see it. In honor of traditional yo-yo tricks, Mach 5 time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I should.
So you said you edited the music for your freestyle today. What song are you thinking of using?
I'm using it's called The Line by 21 Pilots.
Nice. I don't
Yeah.
know if I know that song. I know the band, but I don't know if I know that song specifically.
Yeah, I hadn't really ever heard it until I started looking for the songs that I thought were good for the style of routine I wanted. So
Nice. Well, sick. I bet 21 Pilots would make a really good yo-yo routine song.
it's like it's pretty it's not like the fastest. It's like has a lot of variation of speed. It goes like up and down, but it's like pretty flowy. So
Uh-huh.
that's kind of what I wanted.
That's good. Having that variety, but like not so fast that you can't keep up with it.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if I have a ton of tricks I don't have like a ton of like high scoring tricks. So it's like, I mean, if I take it slower, but focus a ton on the choreography,
Mhm.
then I think I'll do good. So that was kind of my game plan.
Honestly, an underrated but really good strategy.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you should really just go up there and do a bunch of fast rail combos, and then you just win. Seems fun.
I mean,
Of course,
rail combos are fun, but like I don't know, like an entire routine of it would get old, in my opinion. Like having one or two in there for like flair, I think is totally tasteful.
I
But
mean,
like
yeah,
it's the whole thing with the speed combo. It's just like it feels excessive.
but that was like the 2000s, like 2000 one just to two like all that time period, a little bit further, like 2010 ish. That was just like all speed combos because it actually scored every string hit. Unlike
Yeah,
now,
yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon. Like Hiroyuki Suzuki is an absolute beast.
uh huh,
But I am glad that it's not just all speed combos anymore.
yeah, that would get. Well, I mean, kind of had to happen because
Yeah,
now learning like a basic rail combo is just like one of the first things that beginners learn
right,
nowadays, just because of like TikTok and all that stuff. So
right. There's a hole in your ceiling because you made a normal yo-yo into off string. Oof, that's
yeah,
not good. Time for some putty and patchwork. That's why I would normally recommend to people when they're learning off string at first to not do it inside because it's really hard to learn how to control it at first, and having space can be really helpful. So I'd normally recommend just going outside to a large grassy area.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely did not do that. So my
yeah.
parents kept on hearing loud bangs against my wall because they were like,
What's going on?
What's happening?" Like, oh
Like,
yeah, I
are
just
you
dropped my
okay?
offspring yo-yo.
You're like, are you having anger problems? Are you all right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like the first week of me having offspring yo-yo because I just played offspring for like a week.
That was pretty recently, wasn't it? Like I seem to remember you posting something about that like a month, like a what, 2 months ago or something.
Yeah, I got a Yo-Yo Factory flight for Christmas, and so that's what I like that week right after. I just only played offspring basically.
Nice. I could have told you that first, Maxie. I'm sorry. I didn't think that you would do off string that quickly for me to have missed that one. I apologize. I guess I might be setting a poor example doing off string inside, but at the same time,
You have a lot of practice, so
I do, and I have a lot of dings in my walls to prove it.
yeah,
But I have it set up now where I can minimize dings in my wall.
that's nice.
Because like what I do, it's kind of scuffed. But what I end up doing is like I'll set up pillows and like other things to kind of protect the wall.
Yeah.
And so like I'll show you really quick. So like over here, for instance, I don't know if you can even see that, but I have a pillow on the ground, and
Oh
then if
yeah.
it bounces over the pillow, it hits the whiteboard, not the wall. Um, and there's random junk over here that it usually will hit instead of the wall. Um, and then over here, I got so sick of it landing on my yo-yo case that I put a blanket over my yo-yo case.
Oh, uh,
And because of the direction that I throw, like it usually spins towards the wall that has the pillow. And so it's a far less likely for it to go the other way.
that's nice.
But when it does, it almost always would go straight for my yo-yo case. So I have so many dings in it that were unnecessary, but oh well.
Uh,
I feel like that's also kind of part of the process with like learning offstring sometimes is learning how to manage your environment for it.
Hmm.
And yes, Maxi, that is a Diablo, which is a great way to get some experience with offstring because there's a lot of similar principles between Diablo and offstring.
I've never tried a Diablo. Seems
It's fun. I like it. I don't think I would ever take it as seriously as I take Yo-Yo by any means, but it's fun.
yeah.
And I learned two Diablo solo hum, and at that point, I'm like, I'm like I'm happy with the progress that I made, and I don't necessarily need to become a Diablo expert.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever be able to take like any other skill toy more seriously than yo-yo.
I don't know. I forgot which way is it. That's fun. Come back. Oh boy. The joys of Diablo. But the nice thing about Diablo though is that these are rubber rims, and so even if it does hit my wall, it doesn't even ding it.
Doesn't do anything. Oh, that's nice.
It'll knock stuff over, so you have to be careful in that regard. But if there's nothing to knock over, then
Yeah.
you're totally fine. Yeah, for me, the other skill toys are there just more for fun than they are really to take them anywhere nearly as seriously as yo-yo.
Uh-huh. I've tried I've tried a couple others. And they always I mean things like Rubik's Cubes and like cup stacking seem pretty fun. But because I liked the timed aspect where it's all about like improving your time.
Right.
But I just never like I found myself getting bored after like 30 minutes of like trying it and then where I can like sink 3 hours easily into yo-yoing somehow.
Right. I feel that. Like I think the timed aspect of it is motivating to an extent for me, but I feel like at a point it becomes more frustrating than helpful.
Yeah.
'Cause, like for me, that like I tried to do that with like speed running in a couple of different games, and I found that on the one hand, learning the tricks for the speed running were super fun,
Yeah.
but the actual speed run would just make me frustrated.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Takes a lot of determination.
Yeah, and you have to be really like vigilant with your mindset to not get salty about things.
That's the but I mean I enjoy time stuff because like the only other thing I've ever taken like close to as seriously is running cross country. And
Nice.
so I really like doing that.
That's awesome.
And so it's like really fun to see your time improve. I mean,
True.
it's really weird. Running is interesting because like while like during meets and stuff, like you're mid run and you just like feel like you feel terrible and you like, oh, I never want to do this again. Then you cross the finish line, you're like, you know what? I think I want to do that again. It's a weird phenomenon.
I feel that. I absolutely feel that. Like I used to be a lot more into running than I am right now,
Yeah.
and I 100% feel that. Let's see, Max. The bind on your yo-yo never works. Are you trying to do it on an off-string yo-yo or on a regular yo-yo? Also, how's it going, Ethan? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for streaming with me last week, by the way, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Do I remember you, CPR VR? You might have changed your username, so I'm not entirely sure. But the icon does look familiar. Regular yo-yo. So if you're having a hard time with that bind, try and make sure that you pinch the back string of the loop on your non-dominant hand. Try and pinch that as you throw down the loop. It gives a lot more friction. It's been like this. Well, I apologize, CPR. It does look familiar, and in my experience, I'm usually pretty good at remembering people from stream. This week has been like a rough week for me, and so like my memory right now is not the greatest. But I appreciate you being here regardless. I hope you're having an awesome Friday, my friend. So are you doing cross country right now, or have you done it, or like did you like switch off a bit?
Right now, cross country season is in the fall, so
Yeah, true.
for like school. So then
True.
otherwise I just run.
I guess it's track season right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's track season right now. I couldn't make track work this. I usually do track just to like keep me in shape on the off season, but I
Right.
couldn't make it work this time. So I just have to be. I have to make myself go and run. It's pretty difficult without a coach there to like get you to run. So
Yeah. The external motivator is definitely helpful for sure.
because when you don't really have a reason to run besides running,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be difficult. I mean, like obviously, like I know that if I actually go run, then I'm not gonna regret it. But like, it's just hard to go get yourself to do something that you know is gonna be painful.
Right. I feel that. I guess the question is it painful because of it just being hard, or because because of like an injury?
Well, I mean, like, I guess it depends. Like, I can run like 3 or 4 miles without really, without really, without really hurting. I guess it's like not really pain, but like just exhausting. I guess is the right word. But I do like if I actually go do it, I like feel like I should push myself. So I usually run further than it's comfortable.
Right. I feel that. I feel like for me, when it comes to that kind of running, it's like I'm too eager to push myself faster than I should be, either in terms of pace or distance,
Yeah,
rather than like healthily building up to it.
you really have to be incremental.
Totally. And that got me injured pretty bad, like when I was trying to train for my first half, which I
Oh
still
yeah,
never did because I got injured.
that's unfortunate.
But I'm trying to be more incremental with it now, but I feel like I go too far the other direction and my incremental just becomes like, oh, hey, maybe I should run like today randomly with like no plan beforehand, which doesn't really help either. Let's see, can we do a hard trick? And we got some requests for a hard trick. We've got requests for Godspeed. Let's do Godspeed real quick. I forgot that this yo-yo is not very good for Godspeed because whenever I hit it, it stops. So it could be a skill issue, but could also be a yo-yo issue. I normally like to do Godspeed with a metal yo-yo just because it's a little bit easier to deal with. Also, I think we might have lost you, Andrew. I think your internet might have gone out. But as for a hard trick, I would say that's a pretty hard one. Yeah, I think we lost Andrew for a little bit. Not sure if his phone died or internet, but if he pops back in, great. And if not, that's okay too. And then let's see. You were saying, Maxie, that your yo-yo kind of sucks. What kind of yo-yo are you using? My camera's like mine or Andrew's? Because Andrew's was lagging for a bit there too. You're not sure what happened and closed you out of the stream. Interesting. I don't know what happened either, man. But I appreciate you being on the stream. I do actually need to go anyway, so it was probably good timing. But I appreciate you being here, man. And thanks everybody for coming to the stream. Hope you had a good time, and we'll catch you around next time. Thanks for being here.